Okay, good evening to all of you. So let me have just a little bit recap what we have gone through again. So definitely I'm not going to just get one by one the statement wise, but as a whole topic wise what we have gone through. So mainly two broader sense I can just come up with. The first thing, we all should be having a little bit idea, at least keeping in mind you guys are just was not knowing anything, and in last five session, approx 5 session, you are at least in position to visualize what exactly if somebody will ask what is Oracle database. So you all will able to just get, or you'll able to just sense it whenever somebody is saying database, what all are the component is available. Okay, so three component, it's a memory, then the processor, memory means the SDA, then the processor, and then the data file. We have gone through detail in each and every three component. Next, we have gone through the moment we are putting the SQL statement, which interface, what component it is touching before giving us the basic result. So that also we have gone through. We have gone through different aspect while starting the database. What is the importance of parameter file, the data file? We have gone through different view or the data links review, what I said, how to check the location of control file, different ways of checking control file. Like one, we can just go through the view, we can check it. One, we can just go through the specific parameter, through that we can check it. We can just check the data file with, again, different ways. Then the read log files we have discussed in detail. We have spent a lot of time keeping in mind the day-to-day activity, what we are doing. So that we have gone through the control file part, how to check if some issues are there in the database, how to just go log in, check what is going on, what is the current status of the database. Okay. Apart from that, as a whole in nutshell, we came to know if some space issues, space crunch is there in the database, what exactly you are going to do. That means adding the space. We have gone through what is the threshold, that means 80%. If it is beyond that, definitely we have to just go and add it, how to add the particular that thing. We have discussed something related to the relation between the data file and table space. So as a whole, we got the very clear picture. When somebody will say database, we are at least we can visualize this. Yes, few of you might be watching very first time, so you can just follow the sequence. That means session 1, 2, 3, and thing will be much more clear. And if you are not at all in this from IT, again, previous session was there, the basic Linux and SQL. You can just start watching from 1 to 9 session was there, and from again this DBA session 1. So you'll able to just get the clear picture. Now, what about today's session? What exactly we are going to discuss? So the whole idea for today's session is to discuss the connectivity part, or you can say it's a networking part. So we are going to focus on little bit. We have already touched based on this last third session. Today we are going to discuss it practically about one service that is helping us to connect with the database. Okay, so what the service is, which main two component is needed if you are trying to connect database from the end user or from outside of the particular server. So what this is all about, this is, you can say, again, next very important topic for all the professionals, because whether you are into database, whether you are into development, whichever this two area, this you have to just come across with this thing. That means the connectivity to database from client, what are the main component we have to have with us? Okay, so to understand that, let me share my screen and give me a minute for that. So just so hope you all are getting my screen right now. And in this screen, I'm going to just tell you two important things. Let me draw this. So definitely this is going to be you can treat this as a Linux server, okay? So this you can treat Linux server. Inside that, I'm just, let me just make it not, okay? OS, I'm treating as a Linux. So this is Linux server. So under that, we may have a number of databases. What I'm going to just make it, I'm going to make only one. I'm just assuming only one database is there in this, okay? And this is the database we all know. And under that, we all know the different component. Again, you guys are now at least, your mind is already started understanding, okay, what I'm just drawing. So, and this thing, okay. And we are having definitely the backend processes will be there. And again, here we are having different data file. And here also we are having, and you'll come to know a little bit later on why we are just keep using this particular diagram for each and every part. Whatever discussion we are just doing, we are doing with this particular diagram. Okay, so this is the database. So what I'm assuming, the Linux operating system, the server, we have name of it. What name? Name I'm giving, suppose. Name or IP I'm giving 192.1.1.110. Okay, this is the IP address for the server. And the name of database, and let me just give one name to the database. And the database name I'm giving, suppose, just I'm giving SHA. What we have the database name is SHA. Okay. Now, let me just make it, because we have a small name, so I'm just giving small. So this is there. And now, two very new component, not very first time I'm just going to use it. I have just given little idea on that. Two very important component should be there with us if you want to, or we should know if you want to go to connect with database. So two component is there. One should be reside in the database side, and one should be reside in the client side. Client side means, if you are having a little bit confusion about client and server, simply the server means where all the connection will available and all the data will be stored here. Client means from where data will go to this server, database server, or if or when needed to display something, so where the data will be displayed. Suppose you are working for a bank, so, and you are one of the team member for the bank, and you are just helping your customer. So when you are just sitting on your laptop desktop, you used to use one application. And whenever some client or customer comes, okay, what is your account number? So account number you are putting somewhere, right? So that account number will go to database. From there, detail will come and display to the laptop or desktop or to you. So how it is happening? What internal information you should have if you want to connect with this? So that client, so two file we are going to just named, and this two file will help only to connect with client and server. One file will or should reside in the server side, another should reside in the client side. So confusion is which file should be kept in the server, which file should be we are going to keep in the client. So to start with, we used to have little confusion in this. So let me make it crystal clear what all are the means out of this two file, which file should in the server should be there in the server, which file should be there in the client. So in the server side, always remember the file what we used to have is known as listener .ora. This file, it should be there in the server side. What exactly there inside this listener file, I'll come to that part. Okay, and what we are going to have in the client side, which all of the part we are going to have in the client side, and definitely we are going to have the connectivity from here to here. Okay, so in this, the file what we should have is known as names.ora file. This is, you can say, it's very common for any developer. If you are working as a developer, if you are going to start your career as a developer, also you should know that. That means one file is there. If you want to, one of the way, if you want to connect to database server, this file should be there. And if you need to do some changes, you can do it if you have that idea. Okay. So the question is, what changes, which file, which data? Whenever we are just thinking to do change, definitely what change? So this is very vital in both the file. What are the information we are going to have? So first, let's discuss in the listener file. What are the content we should have? If it is missing, any one of it missing, it's gone. You will not able to connect. You are not going to just make connections studies from client side if some error is there. Okay, now what all are the information? So main three information is needed. It should be there in the server. Okay, or to be more server side, in which file? Listener.ora file. So which three information we should have, that we need to make crystal clear. So let me just tell you all these three. First thing, this file should contain IP address of what? The operating system. That means, what is the IP address? So it's a IP address we should have. What is the IP address? What we have, 192 or host name, whichever one will be there, 1.1.1.10. Next, what else? Next part, again, we have discussed in last 2-3 sessions back. The other information we should have, the database name. Okay, so what is the database name? This name. What else? The last one is port number. What is port number in this case? By default, 1521. Now, here is the confusion, sir. What exactly this port number is? Why it's so important? And to start with, we used to have a lot of confusion in this. That means related to port number and all those kind of things. Okay, so let me first decrease the size a little bit. It is very tiny, so let it. Yeah. So this three information. So as a layman, this port is what? This is basically for security reason. Internal architecture has been designed that if somebody wants to connect to you, the data or the connection should come from this 1521. It's not like, what is the purpose of? Just think a building, right? And in building or in a campus, we used to have n number of building, right? So in the campus outside, one security is there. That means one main gate is there, right? After that, we are coming to the main one building. There is again some restriction is there. When you are going to your own flat, again restriction is there. So why so many restrictions? Same way, if you are connecting to directly server, there is a different level of restriction, like user ID, password you have to give. If you're going inside, again you are giving some user ID, password. So why so many restrictions? For security reason. But sir, we understood, okay, user ID, password, but what this port is all about? Definitely some, okay, for connection. So if this port is, you can say, one of the top layer of security. That means if somebody is coming to connect with database, because in server we may have n number of different applications, different part. So for database, it's defined by default is 1521. So if this port is active, then only somebody will able to log into database. But sir, what we used to think only username and password. Yes, if port is active and user and password is good or correct, then only. So two layer of security here we are having. So long story short, what is the purpose of this port? Just for extra layer of security. And that is available in the server label. You need to activate in the server label. You as a DBA will not able to activate it. It's coming under security part. And to be honest, this is again, it's a different domain or different team looks after it. We used to say it's a security team. So system admin is different, database admin is different. On top of it, the security team, they used to just take care of which port should be open and why. In the organization, what we used to think, oh, port, I personally used to think long back, port, what is it? That is, but this is having very vital security role in your organization in specific database. Very vital. We used to think, or we used to heard in the news, right? This server got hacked. So if no user ID, no password, how it may be hacked? So maybe some penetration on top of this also, that port. So this is a very high sensitive area for any standard organization. They used to look into it. Any suspicious threat, anything that is getting watched and looked into by this particular info security team or security team, you can say. And again, I'm repeating this statement saying that if you want to request for any opening port, so I said here 1521 is the default port, but this cannot be for every database, right? We may have 10 databases in the server, so that port should not be same for every database. It may differ. Who will decide? It is going to be again the system admin or the network team, you can say. They will be deciding, okay, this port should be for this. So as a whole, when we're doing architectural design, that kind of thing, organization will just on the as a whole broader meeting, we used to just take this decision saying that, okay, which port is there? So for us as a fresher, or for us, we don't know anything, it's a number for security reason. But if you'll go a little bit deeper, a little bit senior, this is having very vital role. So just I was sharing one context, like this port, if you want to request to the info security team as a database team, there are n number of processes for the approval. immediate or lead, your senior manager, senior manager, director, like that. Such an important part is this. Okay, so again, for us, it's a number. Why it should be there? If not, you're not able to connect. That's it. Okay, so 3 part. Let me conclude. IP address, we should have into this listener. Port, yes. Database, yes. This 3. And this file, listener.aura, we have seen the location already. I have discussed. You can check the previous recording, or I'll show you a little bit brief. We have to give. And in this file, we may have n number of this set. N number of this set means what? Means one server may have 2 databases. So for 2 database, maybe 2 set of this listener will be there. It may be more. So scope for us right now is to discuss 1, but you can make it 2 also. I'll show you how. The first part you have a little bit idea. So I'll just show that. But if you want to make more, you will be able to just do it. And it's simply copy paste kind of thing is there. Okay. Now, once this is done, so the requirement is, the prerequisite is in this database, if somebody wants to connect to this 2 condition, then only people will be able to connect, otherwise not. So 1, the database listener, database should be up, and the second listener should be up. What is listener? This is the listener, second part. So again, here is the question, sir. This is, you are saying file, and again, you are saying it should be up. What exactly it means? So combination of this, we are putting the file, and after putting the file, we have to start it. The moment we start, this thing get activated. So far, what we were discussing, we were just discussing, okay, these are information should be there for the listener configuration. But after then, what happened? We have to activate it. How to activate it? Just we have to start it. For starting, there is a command we have to follow. Just like to start the database, what are the command? What are the instructions? We all know now. It's a crystal clear to all of us. We have to set the environment, check whether they're up and running or not. If not, log into SysS DBA and give a command called startup. Same way for listener startup, we have to set the environment, we have to give proper command, and then start. So the same thing for listener, what I have discussed, the same thing I'm going to show you. This is the second time I'm going to show you. Earlier, 3 days back, I have just, let me just open. Now you all know what I'm doing. Okay. Under that, how to check whether database is up and running or not. This is nowadays, you can say it's the same thing we're doing, keep doing. Yes. In work life, we used to do the same thing only, nothing new daily. So that is good news if you are thinking this. So after setting environment, equal plus this is TP, we have to connect. Now we got connected to database. So first part is it was already up and running, but this is just, we discussed this part, this one. That means let me, this database part only, okay, this part only. Now we have to just start this part also. So 2 services should be running. How to check? Database we have checked. We have to check the listener service. That we have seen the command, how to check. Again, I'm just going to show you all right now. So for that, I have to exit. Exit means in the background, database is up and running. It was running earlier also. Same thing, we have to check listener. grep TNS. It's nothing going, so it's not running. Another way of checking is instead of TNS, inherit. So either way you can check, it's not running. Now, how to start this database? So by default, some name is there. That name is known as listener. That can be anything, depend on your organizational structure or standard. Most of the company have a name called listener by default. But sir, how to check it? The name is listener or something else? So file, you know. How to go into file? Whichever location of the Oracle database software, under that network and admin. Now, question is, sir, but we have to remember this. Yes, this one line. Likewise, maybe total entire, what I remember, maybe 6 or 7. That's it. Last 19, 20 years. So if same thing you keep doing it, what is fine of it? To start with, yes, you can make a note. I have my own document. That document, when I started career, on that time, ls minus ltr, ls, mkdi, those commands is also written so far till now. Am I looking for that? No, definitely, because, but to start with, I did it. So few of you might be thinking, okay, yes, make a note. Everybody does the same thing. Nobody is just having everything here. It's not possible. Okay, so whatever is not coming here, just put in a soft copy or hard copy, whichever way you all are comfortable. Okay, now how to go to that home? So I have seen earlier also, simply you can type Oracle underscore home. So we have to type Oracle underscore home only. Yes, it's an environment variable. If you type this, the thing will go to home. See, I typed this, but it will. So if you are having confusion, sir, how come it will go? If you are, I'm saying an environment variable, so this variable is already, this value is already assigned against that Oracle home. When, how, when we install Oracle software, then internally it is getting done. We are not doing anything. We are just knowing what is Oracle home. We are just using CD $Oracle home and going to the specific location where software has been installed. What else? Under that, network admin. This is a default location. Whichever Linux flavor OS you go, same command. You have not a single dot difference in these. Whatever I'm doing in this Linux, you can do in HP UX, Sun OS, AIX, any other flavor of Linux everywhere. Same thing, no difference. And that is the beauty. If you learn one, you'll be able to implement or work. And under that, this is a location where our listener.ora file is there. So listen here, two things. File name is listener.ora. That is default. We cannot change the name of the file. Okay, this is what it is. But inside the file, all these 3 entry, what I was referring, that should be noted, and that is the standard. It used to be there, this 3 part. But writing, way of writing is different. That I don't remember also. In sample file, thing is there, just copy paste, do the change, needful change. What change? This 3 information only. I'll show you. That's it. Okay, so nothing we are going to mug up here. So now, how to check? So this is the listener. This should be then the server side, as I mentioned. Okay. Now, if we'll do cat, see, 3 thing I said, right? Whatever the name of the database, that should be there. Okay. What else? IP address will be there. I have written different. This is different, and port number is there. And rest are description. These are syntax. We don't need to just mug up, just copy paste. This we used to get as a sample also. This we used to get as a sample also. Now, you can say, sir, but we are using SHA, because here, if you'll go and see, cat, it is the Quora tab. See, 2 databases there, right? What I wanted to use is SHA, but what entry is there is SHA data. So what to do in this case? I want my own separate listener, not listener file. File may contain 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different listeners. So under listener.ora, if you see, somebody will ask, okay, what is the listener name? So what is the listener name if this question is coming? So listener name is, that was I was saying that we can change anything. So this is name. Can I give my own name? Yes, you can give. But as a standard, all companies used to keep this one only. If some little standard, listener underscore, that may be SHA. Listener underscore SHA. So whenever we are going to create our own listener, simply do what? This is very, very, very important, okay, what I'm just going to do. Before doing any changes in this file or adding or modifying anything in listener.ora file, take a backup of this original file. I'm repeating. Before doing, this is the thumb rule for any practice, any industrial level, any server, whenever you are working. Not only in database, anywhere. This is so vital. And I personally learned this with very heavy cost. So just listen carefully. Before doing any change in this file, you have to take backup. You might be thinking, how to take backup, sir? You all know it. Make a copy of it with some other name. Why? Something messed up in this while just doing change. You have that one. From that file, you can take it back. Okay, so how to do? See, CP, the file name, listener.ora. So CP, what? Same name, listener.ora, underscore, I'm giving backup, or any name you can give. As per industry standard, what you are going to give? You are going to give the date, today's date. That is the standard. Underscore backup. So underscore today's date is suppose 23rd, right? So 23, then 06, then 2021. Either you can keep it like this, or you can give underscore B backup underscore. That's it in this way also. If I'll do right now, see, this is very, very important part, but okay. This will come from experience only. See, now we have 2 copies. One is this is backup copy, and this is the original. I'm going to do some modification in the original. While doing this modification, it might happen some space, something you messed up. Goof up somewhere, this thing. And you can know it's not possible to remember each and every character. It's not possible. Right now you are seeing only 10 lines. It may be 100 lines, it may be 200 lines, because n number of different listeners are there. As I mentioned in past, in one server, we may have 10 databases. So minimum 10 listeners. So 10 into whatever 50 line is there. So see, if anywhere you messed up something, some character, even one hyphen or slash or bracket with small bracket, every entire file will be messed up. So it's a really challenge, and that is the reason we have to take backup. In that case, if you messed up, you can take copy from here, backup to original. So you are sure that yes, whatever is there, I am back to original form. Now you do some change, or let it be for that. We will see next day. Because all these changes, what we are discussing, small changes, we used to get only maybe 10 minutes. Because we are doing modification and say there are So many dependencies are there. It's not the database is down. Can you believe what is happening? Entire application is down. Nobody is using it. You cannot take in hours for doing just little changes. So this is very, very, very important to understand why we are just discussing take backup and all those things. Now, time to do some change. Change means what change? You want to create your own listener, not default. Default is their listener. You want to create a new one. So two ways are there to create it. One is the simplest way, is this what I'm going to do. But another way is there with the graphical user interface. Later on, someday I'll show you. Okay, that's very easy that anybody can do. But in real life scenario, those things are rare and it is very difficult to implement GUI way. Why? You will able to understand a little bit later part. So what we used to do on the daily basis, if these kind of changes or these kind of requirement, as I'm just mentioning that we are going to create one new listener. Why? New database is there. Related that, no listener is there. So I want to create it. If you are coming up with any new installation or new database creation, you have to do the step what I'm doing it. Okay, so here is VI testing. Go inside, and here what I'm doing, see very carefully. What I'm going to do, simply I'm selecting this line. Okay, and just I did what? Let me just see. While doing right click, it came, just part of stuff came here. See, it messed up already. So what I'll do, I'll just exit it without saving it. So we all know how to just exit without saving. See, now I'm going to do again. So what I'm doing, I'm selecting this thing, entire thing, and I'm going to the position where I want to make a copy of it. So after just doing this one, what I'm going to do, I'm just coming to the location where I want to paste it. So it should be here, okay, before the last line. Why last line? Again, slowly you will understand. Okay. Now, in insert mode, and after coming to insert mode, what we have to do? Just right click. The moment I right click, this thing have already just come. Now, see, everything that is starting from this entire set is there in the second half. So I just simply did what? Copy paste. And what next? Next is simply change the listener name. What listener? Suppose listener, any name you can give. Listener 1, 2, any name you can give. I'm giving listener underscore sh. You all know how to just sh. What else? You have to change the database name. What database name you have to give? His name you have to change. So 2 changes. What else? Here also the name is there, right? It's a complete set. First part, second part. Okay. So here also name of the whatever. And IP address, if the same server you have, yes, same server. Port is going to be different. It cannot be same. Okay. So here I'm giving 1522. So as I mentioned, we need to do 3 changes. Right? What I did, database name change. Then I said IP address if needed. Though we are both the databases, then the same server, no need to change IP address, and port that I did it. So what I did in last 2 minutes, I created one new listener named listener underscore SHA having port 1522 with the database called SHA. So already copy paste, I have changed 3 to 4 locations. That's it. That's same thing, almost 99% you can say same thing you'll be doing entire life. What is 1%? That time comes, you will be able to feel, understand. But this is the main thing. So by doing this, what I did, I have to save it and exit it. It might happen that while starting the listener, it may gives any error. Might happen. When doing copy paste, some special character, sometimes it comes. So troubleshooting or fixing one thing, it's very tedious. So backup is there. You can just retry and the chances are there. The thing will be much more in good shape. So database listener is already new listener got created, but how to start it? Because last time what I have just shown you guys, just the basic one. This is a little bit standard what is being used in the industry. Now, if you'll go and start, first thing, LSNRCPL. This is the prompt we used to have for what? This prompt will help us to use listener service related command. Whether listener is up and running or not, from here also you can check. You can check from here whether it is running, if running, for how long it is running, all those kind of things. But now we are focusing on how to start new listener. So you should know the name of the listener. What is the name of the listener? Listener underscore. This is the name of the listener. Listener underscore SHA. Basically, it's not there. We can just, so we have to start it. How to start? Start space listener underscore. This was the name. Hit enter. See, SHA. See, port. If you want to exit from here, exit it. And check now, we have just gone through command how to check the listener status, whether it is up and running or not. So the TNS. And now see, this is showing us. See the listener, what name is coming. But now, no, sir, I want to start another listener also. As I mentioned that we may have a number of database, we may have a number of listeners. So 2 database, 2 listener can be there. I want to start that listener. That means the first one. Can we do? Yes. How to? Same process. But that one task can be done in different way also. So the default way, go to LSNRCTL, hit enter, start listener name, LISTENER, that's it, hit enter. Another way, if you won't want to go to listener prompt, by sitting here you want to run it, that also we can do. Then LSNRCTL, start, and then give listener name. Same for this one also you can do what I did. By going inside, you can give LSNRCTL, start listener name. Earlier was SHA, now it is showing what SHA data. See, what port? 1521. Okay, if you want to check the IP is there, the same IP. Both the cases, same IP. See? Now, I want to check the status now. So it should say, means whenever the output will come, it will show us definitely to listener. See carefully. If you see carefully in the bottom, two listener, one is just this earlier one, this is the latest one. And coming back to our diagram, here two this kind of thing are running. And this is the prerequisite. If database, that means one database is running, SHA as well as listener, both should be running. Then only any client this user will able to connect. If I sitting here, then only you'll able to connect. Now, in the client side, what file we should have? And as I already mentioned, that TNS names.ora. And here also, you have to have, you are going to have same set of information. Same thing, you have to pair it, right? Just like you are working in the office or you are staying at home having unique address, right? If somebody wants to visit to your office or home, he or she should have the same set of address, same exact address, right? Then only he will come by searching, okay, this area, then this area, then this particular campus and this building and this flat. See? So same way, from the client side, the server is there. That means that address is there. It should be there. Just like you are living in an apartment, so definitely it should have some existence, right? Some address. And that address only you will give to your friends, family, whoever wants to visit you. Same thing here. We have built a building where it is having connectivity address known as 192.1.110 SHA 1521. This is now client will start searching. If it is active means this should be running, then it will go and connect with the internal networking protocol, whatever the services are there. So that same set of information there should be there in the TNS names.ora file. So this is for connectivity. This should actually the real use in the client side only. But we are having this in server side for just testing purpose, whether you will able to connect it or not, but just testing purpose. But listener.ora, you will never find in any client side. So the common question, I'm just third time repeating, listener.ora only in the server side. TNS names.ora only in the client side, but for testing purpose, you can keep in the server side. So what this client file, TNS names file is going to have, same three, but writing format is different. How it looks like, see. Here we have sample file, okay, in this server location only. See, this is one set. You'll come to know slowly. Here, this is two set. Just like two listener was there. So here, one client can connect with n number of servers. Right now, keeping in mind or looking into this particular TNS names.ora, this particular machine can connect with two different servers. Though it's right now sitting in the server side only, but just I'm assuming, I think this particular file is there in the one client machine. So that client can connect with the first means this one and the second one. So here only difference is, see, it may happen. Same port, yeah, it can happen. No, I want to create my own. Yes, copy, paste, change this name, change this, that's it. Change this means, sir, yes, you want to connect to some other host name under that other port and other database. But who will give this information? Suppose you are working as a developer. Definitely database admin will provide three. You have to go and just put it in three locations. That's it. Question, from where I get this Google TNS name sample, you will be getting it. So this is having 1, 2, 3 information, but see, format is different. And this is known as connect string, this name. This can be ABC, anything. So whenever client will start connecting, it will connect with this. The moment it will find this, it will go inside. Okay, this server I have to go. It reaches that server. Okay, this port I have to search it's active or not. If listener is up, then only it is so active. And then inside this database I have to go, and it will make connection. And that way, this thing will start happening. So 2 parts: server, listener, client. Here, client DNS names. This is to take away client. So what I can expect for all of you, whoever is just watching, at least in this video, you should be able to answer what is listener.ora file and what is tnsnames.ora file. Listener.ora file is the configuration file in the server side. tnsnames.ora, if some clients want to connect to server, that information should be there. What is the next point? One listener file may have multiple set of listeners. Same in the TNS names, we can have one client tnsnames.ora file may have many set of that entry. That means that client can connect with many servers. That many may be 10, maybe 100, maybe 1,000, maybe more. Okay, what next? We have discussed how to start, how to shut down. Shut down is just lsnrctl stop. I'll show you. What next? If you want to start by sitting in the command prompt, how to start. If you want to add, copy paste, how to do it. So this is the takeaway for till now. Now the last part, what I'm showing you, how to stop that listener. 2 listeners are running. So how to stop it? Listener name, if you remember, well and good. So lsnrctl. Either you can go by hitting enter and type stop listener name, or by sitting here itself, stop listener. Completed successfully. Same thing for listener, both the. And now if you check, nothing is running. So this is what we have learned, how to stop it. Multiple. Can we stop multiple listener at one go? No. You have to go one by one. Can we start at one go all the listener? Answer is no. Is there a way out? Till now, no. But maybe in the future version it might come. But so far, no. So you may ask, okay, you told us that we are having another way to do it. So right now, this is not right time. Maybe next session I'll just show you same thing. If you understand, this is the main thing. If you understand already this thing, that is, it's a matter of nothing. But if you are having issues on that, this particular thing, so that also going to give us a little bit challenge. Okay, so that's it pretty much for now, and let me conclude with this diagram. This is what we have gone through here. From here, it will, the connectivity will go on and on in this way. Okay, so hope this particular whatever session we have. Let me stop. So hope you guys have just got little clear picture on it. Yes. to gain the confidence, definitely you have to do it. But concept-wise, this is it. If you got it, you are again 90% done. And this is, as I mentioned, this is one of the architecture was definitely ultimately this is the second most important for entire career. The topic what we have discussed. So that's it, and see you tomorrow. And again, if you guys have any question, you can make on the comment, and somebody from team will help you guys. Okay, and whoever is just watching, you can join the Zoom link. I'll wait for having one meeting, so I'll go out real quickly. Okay, so thank you.